And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Today we're taking a look at the Key Murder at Oakdale Club. Now this is the second in this series of the Key that I've reviewed. In fact, it's the last one I've reviewed for a while because I think there's 3 of them out now, but I didn't get the 3rd one. But the Key series from Haba is a deduction style series where everyone is playing at the same time, trying to solve the case with as few clues as possible. If you watch my other review, this game is very similar, but this one is a medium level. The last one I did was an easy level. This one has one more thing, but it does complicate it. It is a little bit more difficult. Also, if you're playing with kids, the first key had something to do with causing sabotage at an amusement park, which is not great, but it is less traumatizing than, let's say, here, actual murder. That being said, the games are very similar, but if you've never seen one before, it doesn't matter. I'm about to show you how it plays. Game, you are trying to find out who done it. Well, actually, you know who done it. It's these 3 people, but you need to know who committed what murder. So you have 3 different people, and there's 3 different times. So each time, so you have, for example, 7:30, 8, and 8:15. Which one of these 3 committed the murder at each time? So only one of them could have done it at each time. What was the weapon they used? Where did the murder happen? And what was the getaway vehicle, their golf cart? So once you have this information, you're going to look at the order that you have them. So let's say it was the lady, the boy, and the man. Then the first digit here would be a 6. And you're going to try to figure out a 4-digit code here to solve the case. There's a bunch of 4-digit codes on this board, and at the beginning of the game, you're going to pick which case you're going to do. So let's say we pick the red case. Once you've decided the code, let's say you think the code is 1624, you'll put the red key in there. Everyone's going to try to solve the same case, and at the end of the game, you'll flip this board over, and if the red key, it shows red on the other side when I flip this board, then anyone who's got the right solution will win, and whoever used the fewest numbers on their clues is the winner. When I say numbers on clues, you have a big pile of cards that's in the middle of the table. So this game is played in real time. So I picked the red key, for example. So players will be able to simultaneously look at any card that shows red. That's a valid clue for this case. This is the number of points it is. Remember, if multiple people solve the case, whoever has the fewest points wins. And then it will tell you a little bit about what does that clue mean. What does that clue give you information for? Let me show you some example clues. Like I said, clues can be used for multiple cases, so this doesn't really spoil anything. But like this, in this case, it will say, this guy killed before she did. That's all you know. Or the getaway vehicle was not green at 8 o'clock. Or this was a crime scene before this one. Or this boy did not flee with the green golf cart. Sometimes you have a clue like this, which will show a bunch of colored stripes. That means this suspect used this weapon. And so you have a book here, and you're going to look at all these colors, and you're looking to find that sequence somewhere in here. Once you find it, you'll know which suspect it is. Sometimes you'll find watches like these, which show someone left some evidence here and times, and then I'll compare those to these watches, trying to match which one it is. Sometimes you'll have something like adding up 3 of the digits and subtracting the 4th makes 1. Well, that matters here for the golf carts. Each golf cart has a number, and so I use a little bit of math there to figure out which golf cart is the one I'm looking for. And then, in my opinion, the hardest clues will say, this boy was here at 8:25. So then I look at this map, and I'll say he's on the bridge, so could he have been here at a certain time? Could he have been here at a certain time? Adding up the times it takes to get from each spot to the other, does he have an alibi not to be at a specific murder scene at any given point in time? So players are turning these over. The clues are worth 2 or 4 points, and like I said, they tell you this, for example, says this is about a suspect and about the weapon that they used. And then you'll turn it over and find whatever the clue happens to be. You keep going. As soon as someone's done, they're first. They'll wait for everyone else to finish, and then you'll use the board like I said. Now, if your number's not on the board at all, you're clearly wrong. But if you're on the board, you put the key in and see if you're correct. Component-wise, you have these shields. Each player has a shield that kind of folds together like this and has all the information here with a erasable pen, which you'll write on the board. So each player has one of these, and then you have this, which gives you the color codings here. It also tells you if they're male or female, their ages. There's different information you might need. The different carts here have numbers on them. They also have different number of golf clubs, and they're different colors, the watches, and then this map on the back. And you're going to use all that, plus possibly information on this board here to solve it. The cards are really good. Every card works with at least 3 different cases. And because there's so many cards in the game, you'll never sit at a spot that I found where you go, there's not enough cards for me to pick to figure out the case. I really love this series. I love the deduction that's done here. Now, it's not perfect. I played these. Like I said, one of the things I really like about this game is that I don't even remember what colors of this I've played in the past. I mean, I played several colors of this set. I don't remember which ones. It doesn't matter. You could give me the exact same case. There's no way I would remember the sequence to match a color. Maybe you are that good, but I doubt it. And because you're pulling up different clues each time, and the clues are used in different colored cases, the replayability of this is much higher than 9 cases. Yes, there's 9 different cases, but unless you played them all back to back, again, I don't think that even matters. I really think I could play the same case weeks later and have forgotten the stuff from the original one. The one thing about this is it comes down to the clues that you get. And there are a few times where I'm like, ooh, I need a clue. I take a clue, and it is information I already have. Okay, that's the way life works, but that could be the difference between me winning or losing. Now, the front of the card does show you, or the back of the card, I guess, shows you what kind of information it gives you, so you are taking that risk. In case you'll get something to say, I figured it out, and near the end, that's what it has. But you don't need that many cards to solve these cases. The fewer cards you use, the more deduction you're going to have to work together, cross things off. If you like those logic puzzles that they sell books, puzzles everywhere, you'll love this. If you like one of my favorite deduction games, Awkward Guess, I think you'll like this also. It has a lot of that same idea. This is fantastic. It works well for kids. It works for adults. I really like this series. I love the concept of everyone working at the same time, grabbing for the same clues, and it's not a mad dash like everyone's just slapping each other's hands. You take a clue, you think carefully about it, because you don't want to just grab a bunch of cards. That's bad. So you take a clue. Sometimes the first clue you're like, well, that's not useful yet, but as time comes by, it works with other clues. I take a clue, and once that clue I feel has given me all the information I'll wring out of it, I flip it over and it's done. And there are some I'm like, oh, at some point this will be helpful if I get something else. It's a good way to teach kids deduction games. I have yet to beat my daughter at this game, and I'm the one who taught her how to do all this deduction stuff. And the student has surpassed the master, if you would indeed ever have called me a master. Great fun, though. I could even see this as a kick playing it solo by yourself, although there's no competition, you know, maybe just to beat your own score. But this series, I'm going to have to hunt down that third game because I like this that much. It's really cool. A lot going on. It feels fresh and interesting, as might be from this designer Thomas Singh, I'm going to be watching every single game he puts out at this point in time. So that's the key. Murder at Oakdale Club. Yet another reason not to join a club at a golf course. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching the Dice Tower. Dice Tower Judgment, excellent.